Hello and a warm welcome to South Asia Today, where we bring you in-depth insights into the key events shaping South Asia. I'm Shivangi Mishra, and are today's top stories. Marvel's roses carry India to the world. Elderly Nepali couple regains independence after cataract surgery. And Bhadarwah Lavender Festival showcases Jammu and Kashmir's Purple Revolution. Farming today is no longer just about growing crops. It's about building global businesses. In Pune, premium Dutch roses bloom inside high-tech polyhouses before making their way to international markets. How is the region powering a multi-core flower export industry? And what role is technology playing in this floral success story? Find out in this exclusive report.
Growing premium Dutch roses takes far more than fertile soil. It requires a carefully engineered microclimate. While Marvel's pleasant weather provides the perfect foundation, the real transformation happens inside these state-of-the-art polyhouses. Here, sensors and computer-controlled systems continuously regulate temperature, humidity, and plant nutrition with remarkable precision. The result, roses with vibrant colors, longer stems, and exceptional freshness, meeting the exacting standards of international markets and making Marvel a rising star in the global floriculture industry.
हमारे पास 22 प्रकार का वैरायटी है। ये डच रोजेस का वैरायटी हमने पॉलिहाउस में करने के बाद उसको अच्छा जो मार्केट में उनको जो फ्लावर चाहिए वो बड़ साइज चाहिए, उसका कलरिंग होना चाहिए, उसका थिकनेस बड़ा होना चाहिए, उसका नो मुड़ने वाला फ्लावर होना चाहिए। अगर उसको थिकनेस बड़ा हाइटेड फ्लावर मिल गया, मार्केट में जो फूल चाहिए वो मिल गया, वो मिलने का तरीका खाली पॉलिहाउस में सर हो। और पॉलिहाउस में अगर फ्लावर कंट्रोल क्लाइमेट कंट्रोल कर दिया तो हम दुनिया में जो फूल उगाते हैं सब लोग यूरोप कंट्री में जैसा गल्फ कंट्री केन्या कंट्री में उगाते हैं वो लेवल का फ्लावर हम इंडिया में दे रहे हैं और यही फ्लावर हम यूरोप कंट्री में दे रहे हैं, गल्फ कंट्री में दे रहे हैं, ऑस्ट्रेलिया जापान को दे रहे हैं।
The journey from farm to global markets begins the moment these roses are harvested. Without wasting a single minute, they are placed in a specialized hydration solution and swiftly transferred to a cold room. This is where the critical cold chain process begins, a key factor in preserving freshness for international exports. The flowers are then carefully graded based on stem length, bud size, and quality before being expertly bundled and prepared for shipment to destinations around the world.
टेम्परेचर मेंटेन करने के लिए पॉलीहाउस से डायरेक्ट पैकिंग तक उसका डिस्पैच तक उसका पूरा टेम्परेचर अपने कंट्रोल करना पड़ता है। जो फूल हार्वेस्ट होता है, हार्वेस्ट होने के बाद वो फूल पानी में रखने के बाद वो फूल ऐसे टेम्परेचर में रखते हैं हम। उसका मिनिमम टेम्परेचर 4 डिग्री, मिनिमम 4 और मैक्सिमम 6 डिग्री ऐसे टेम्परेचर में उसको हम कम से कम 12 घंटे उसको रखते हैं। उसको बोलते हैं हम प्री कूलिंग में फ्लावर रखें। वो फ्लावर अपने को 12 घंटे रखने के बाद उसको हार्डनिंग हो जाता है। उसके बाद दूसरे दिन हमने उसको प्री कूलिंग के बाद उसको हम ग्रीडिंग के लिए लेते हैं। डीलीपिंग करने के बाद उसको हम जो ग्रीडिंग रूम में लेते हैं उसमें 18 से 20 डिग्री मेंटेन रहता है उसमें।
The most remarkable aspect of this billion-rupee floriculture industry is not the Dutch roses, it is the women behind them. The farms and packaging units in Marvel have created year-round employment opportunities for thousands of local people, especially women. Many who once depended on seasonal work or were confined to household responsibilities are now playing a vital role in India's growing global export ecosystem.
पहले कंपनी नहीं थी तो खरीदने के लिए कुछ भी पैसा नहीं था पास में और खेत में काम एक दिन मिलता था और कंपनी में आई तो साल भर में काम रहता है।
मैं यहाँ आई तो मुझे कुछ नहीं आता। यहाँ आई तो बहुत सारे चीज़ सीखने को मिला, जैसे कि स्पोर्ट निकालना, नोकल के बंच कैसे होते हैं, स्पोर्ट का बंच कैसे होते हैं, यहाँ से माल कैसे जाते हैं, माल कैसे आते हैं, वगैरह वगैरह।
From high-tech polyhouses to international flower markets, Marvel's Dutch rose industry is a story of innovation, exports, and empowerment. As technology transforms farming and women drive its success, these roses are carrying the fragrance of a confident next-gen India to the world.
In Nepal's Bara district, an elderly couple who once struggled with failing eyesight and limited access to healthcare have regained their vision and independence thanks to a community eye hospital near their home. Their story highlights how accessible and affordable eye care is transforming lives and bringing hope to rural communities across the country.
For years, Meetu Devi Thapa Magar and her husband Krishna struggled with failing eyesight and limited access to medical care in Nijgad, a town in Nepal's Bara district. Their lives changed when a community eye hospital opened just minutes from their home. After losing vision in both eyes for nearly 6 months, Krishna could no longer perform simple daily tasks. Thanks to timely treatment at the nearby facility, the elderly couple regained their sight and independence.
अब आफूलाई त हजुरको आँखा देखेपछि बाटामा ढुङ्गामुढा बारी झारीमा चाहिँ लगाएको बारीलाई शुभकामना
गर्ने अब हामीले कोट्यो
यस्तो शुभकामना.
It was Meetu who was first diagnosed with cataract. For treatment, she had to travel nearly 2 hours and be accompanied by a companion, adding to both her expenses and the burden of accessing medical care.
दबाई मलाई हेर्दा दबाई चाहिँ किनी आउने जाने खर्च खाने खर्च भयो बस्नेमा भाडा लागेन मेरो अपरेसन दुईटा आँखा अपरेसन गरेँ पैसा लागेन मेरो पनि एउटा औषधिमा लाग्यो अहिले बाउलाई त सबै औषधिको झोला सबै फ्रीमा बाउलाई आँखाको अपरेसन मैले.
The couple's experience reflects a wider challenge in rural Nepal where access to eye care remains limited, especially for elderly residents in remote areas. But their situation changed with the opening of the Tilganga Nijgad Community Eye Hospital, located less than 5 minutes from their home. 15 months after Meetu underwent cataract surgery in Hetauda, Krishna received the same treatment locally. The morning after his surgery, as Dr. Rita Gurum, CEO of the Tilganga Institute of Ophthalmology, removed his eye patches, an emotional Krishna embraced the doctor, his wife Meetu and his 3-year-old great-granddaughter, Renish Sreshtha. The Tilganga Nijgad Community Eye Hospital is part of a joint effort by the Tilganga Institute of Ophthalmology and the Fred Hollows Foundation to bring quality eye care closer to rural communities. The story of Meetu and Krishna highlights the profound human impact of community-led healthcare efforts, especially in a South Asian nation like Nepal, where access to proper health facilities remains limited.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney on the sidelines of the G7 summit and discussed strengthening bilateral cooperation. Carney said negotiations on the proposed comprehensive economic partnership agreement are progressing well, with a target to conclude talks by the G20 summit. Modi expressed optimism about signing the pact soon and highlighted opportunities for collaboration in technology, trade, and energy security. Iraqi Prime Minister Ali al-Zaidi met US envoy Tom Barrack to discuss security and economic cooperation. The leaders emphasized disarming armed groups operating outside state control and restricting weapons to state authority. They also agreed to strengthen commercial cooperation, particularly in the electricity sector. Barrack conveyed that US President Donald Trump looks forward to hosting al-Zaidi at the White House in July. South Korea will shift its civilian control line closer to the border with North Korea, reducing restricted zones by an average of 6 kilometers. Defense Minister Ang Yu-bak said the move reflects improved military readiness and changing security conditions. The government will also relax regulations in border areas, including drone use rules for farming, while continuing efforts to improve residents' convenience and ease tensions on the Korean peninsula.
The Purple Revolution continues to bloom in Jammu and Kashmir as the 2-day 4th Lavender Festival concluded successfully in Bhadarwah. Organized by CSIR IIM Jammu under the theme Lavender Goes Global, the festival showcased the growing success of lavender cultivation in the region. bringing together farmers, entrepreneurs, scientists, and industry experts. The event highlighted how lavender farming is transforming livelihoods, boosting agri-entrepreneurship, and placing Jammu and Kashmir on the global aromatic crop map. Take a look.
Bringing a wave of optimism to Bhadrawa in Jammu and Kashmir, the 4th Lavender Festival 2026 was inaugurated with great enthusiasm, highlighting the region's rise as a rural innovation hub. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh inaugurated the two-day event themed Lavender Goes Global, while BCCI President Mithun Manahas attended as guest of honor. The minister celebrated Bhadrawa's transformation into a startup-driven economy, showcasing Lavender's role in redefining livelihoods and putting the Himalayan town on India's national development map.
आज ये हमारा चौथा लेवेंडर फेस्टिवल है और आज आपने देखा कि किस प्रकार का उत्साह था कि पूरे देश से इंडस्ट्री हाउसेज यहाँ पर आए हैं। पश्चिम महाराष्ट्र से लेकर के दक्षिण कर्नाटक तक, और वो इसलिए आए हैं कि उन्हें इसमें से कुछ मुनाफा नजर आ रहा है। बहुत सारे हमारे NRIs जो बाहर बसते हैं और लेवेंडर वहाँ बहुत इस्तेमाल किया जाता है, लेवेंडर का परफ्यूम, लेवेंडर ऑयल, उन्होंने ऑनलाइन हमारा लेवेंडर खरीदना शुरू किया है कि उन्हें लगता है कि अगर हमारे देश में भी इतनी उम्दा क्वालिटी का लेवेंडर उपलब्ध है तो हम क्यों वहाँ दूसरे देश में खरीदें। और हमारे लेवेंडर को मान्यता भी प्राप्त हुई है। अब आवश्यकता है कि इसकी क्वांटिटी में, इसकी मिकदार में इजाफा हो ताकि हम इतनी मिकदार में इसको पैदा कर सकें कि दूसरे देशों में भी जा सके।
Positioning science as a catalyst for rural change, the Lavender Mission in Bhadrawa was highlighted as a model of technology-led transformation under CSIR Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine, Jammu. Dr. Jitendra Singh credited the vision of Startup India and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's development agenda for driving the Purple Revolution. He recalled Bhadrawa's success in the 99th episode of Mann Ki Baat, noting that the scalable model is now being replicated across Himalayan and northeastern states for sustainable growth.
सिग्निफिकेंट सक्सेस जो है हमारे फार्मर्स को मिली और फार्मर्स की कामयाबी को सेलिब्रेट करने के लिए इंस्टीट्यूट की तरफ से हम लेवेंडर फेस्टिवल एनुअली यहाँ मनाते हैं। तो यूथ के लिए मैं ये कहता हूँ कि अगर वो स्टार्टअप्स बन चुके हैं या बनना चाहते हैं, लेवेंडर के साथ साथ हमारे पास और अच्छे ऐसे आइडियाज हैं। फ्लोरिकल्चर मिशन हम इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं, दूसरी कई मेडिसिनल क्राफ्ट्स जो हैं वो हम इस एरिया में ग्रो करवाना चाहते हैं। तो लैंड हमारे पास है, फर्टिलिटी लैंड में है और यूथ भी इस रीजन का जो है रिच ब्रेन रखता है। तो मैं ये सोचता हूँ कि अगर हमें साइंटिफिक अगर सपोर्ट उनको मिले तो डेफिनेटली वो लेवेंडर के साथ साथ और भी कई ऐसे काम शुरू कर सकते हैं जिनसे उनको बिजनेस का बेनिफिट, इनकम का बेनिफिट मिलेगा।
The Aroma mission emerging from Bhadrawas has delivered significant economic gains, marking a strong boost to rural entrepreneurship in Jammu and Kashmir. Officials highlighted that lavender cultivation has expanded to nearly 1,500 hectares, directly benefiting over 4,500 farmers and their families. The initiative has produced more than 4,000 kilograms of lavender oil and generated cumulative revenues exceeding 18 crore rupees. This growth has strengthened sustainable livelihoods, empowered young entrepreneurs, and positioned aroma-based farming as a high-value rural industry.
ये मैंने बस वीडियोस में देखा था, रियलिटी में देख के बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। ड्राइव भी इतना अच्छा था, सुंदर था, वैली का ड्राइव, और उसके बाद यहाँ आओ और इतनी सारी खेतें हैं, इतना सारा ब्लॉसम है, इट्स एब्सोल्युटली स्टनिंग। मैंने कभी इस एरिया और इस गांव के बारे में नहीं जाना था, बट बिकॉज ऑफ दिस फेस्टिवल, बिकॉज ऑफ दिस पर्पल इकोनॉमी, ये मुझे पता चल रहा है और इसके इतने सारे बेनिफिट्स हैं, ये नहीं पता था। मुझे ड्राइड लैवेंडर के बारे में पता था, यू नो, बट इसके एसेंशियल ऑयल्स हैं, इसकी हर्बल टीज होती हैं, इन्फ्यूज टीज, आई हैड नो आइडिया। दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली ब्यूटीफुल।
The successful conclusion of the Lavender Festival reflects the remarkable progress of Jammu and Kashmir's Purple Revolution. What began as an innovative agricultural initiative has now emerged as a powerful driver of rural prosperity, entrepreneurship, and employment. With lavender cultivation expanding across the region and attracting national and global attention, Jammu and Kashmir is steadily establishing itself as a leading hub for aromatic crops, creating sustainable opportunities for farmers and future generations alike.
Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir is witnessing growing unrest, with protests over rights, representation and governance gaining momentum. Recent civilian deaths during clashes involving Pakistani security forces have triggered widespread outrage, as thousands take to the streets demanding justice and accountability. The concerns are now resonating beyond the region, with the Kashmiri diaspora and lawmakers abroad calling for an end to the violence. We have a report.
Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir has been gripped by unrest, indiscriminate firing by security forces on protesters, resulting in multiple deaths and injuries, and triggering widespread outrage across the region. The latest wave of protests intensified after demonstrators led by the Joint Awami Action Committee opposed the reservation of 12 seats in the Regional Assembly for refugees, arguing that elected representatives should be chosen from among local residents.
Shame for Pakistani government and shame for Pakistani army, जो इनोसेंट निहत्थे लोगों को इतना दिन दहाड़े मारदार करते हैं। एक आर्मी होती है जो प्रोटेक्शन देती है अपने देश की आवाम के लिए, होती है उनकी प्रोटेक्शन के लिए, बट ये पाकिस्तान की आर्मी देखो कि ऐसी आर्मी है जो अपने ही देश में अपने ही निहत्थे लोगों को, इनोसेंट लोगों को किल कर रहे हैं और खून की नदियां बिछा रहे।
A recent court ruling upholding the arrangement further fueled tensions. The region was already witnessing protests over governance issues and economic hardships. The recent civilian casualties have deepened public anger, sparking fresh demands for justice, accountability, and greater democratic rights.
I address you today with a profound sense of urgency regarding the rapidly deteriorating situation in Pakistani-occupied Jammu Kashmir, particularly in the region of Rawalakot, where deeply troubling reports of violence against civilians have emerged. The people of Pakistani-occupied Jammu and Kashmir have the right to peaceful assembly. They have the right to raise their voices without fear of bullets, intimidation, or repression. The deployment of large number of paramilitary and security personnel into the territory has created an atmosphere of fear and instability.
As tensions continue to simmer across Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the issue has drawn international attention, with members of the Kashmiri diaspora in the United Kingdom amplifying calls for justice and accountability. Protests were organized outside Pakistani diplomatic missions where demonstrators condemned the violence, raised anti-Pakistan and anti-army slogans, and highlighted allegations of civilian deaths and enforced disappearances. The concern has also reached political circles, with more than 50 British parliamentarians expressing alarm over reports of communication restrictions, arrests, and the deteriorating situation in the region.
और मेरा ये मैसेज है तो पाकिस्तान के जमादारान से, जिन्होंने ये समझा था कि रहती के लोगों को कत्ल करके, उनको जख्मी करके, उन पर ये मुकदमे दर्ज करके उनको घरों में बंद कर देंगे, को ऐसा मुमकिन नहीं है। ऐसे जम्मू कश्मीर के लोग अपने वसाइल के लिए, अपने हुक्मरानी के लिए बाहर निकले हुए हैं और अफगानिस्तान के हर जलाले सामने वो खड़े, और आज वो पाकिस्तान और पाकिस्तानी इसी को इल्म हो जाना चाहिए कि किस तरीके से पाकिस्तान के गैर निजाम जम्मू कश्मीर में हजारों की तादाद से जो है वो रियासत जम्मू कश्मीर के बाहर निकले हैं और ये अपना हक ये करें।
Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir has remained under Pakistan's illegal occupation for nearly 78 years. Many political activists and civil society groups in the region have long alleged discrimination, economic neglect, and limited control over local resources, while demanding greater political representation and decision-making powers. In recent years, tensions have intensified as recurring protests over governance, economic issues, and political rights have led to frequent confrontations between demonstrators and security forces. The latest clashes have further heightened unrest, bringing renewed attention to the region's long-standing grievances and demands for justice and accountability.
As we wrap up today's episode of South Asia Today, we thank you for joining us. We'll return next week at the same time with more insights and updates. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on behalf of our entire team. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.